Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hardwood Nation podcast with your boy, C.L. Anthony, my main man, Bryce Ward, and look who's back, my former Heat Lifers partner, Kevin Carter. What's going on?
Not a thing, man. Not a thing. You're waking me up before the sun even comes up.
I mean, that's fine. You don't have to sound so depressed about it, though.
No. I always sound like this first thing in the morning.
This is a good
Bryce?
time to get up. This is when you get up, start your day, be productive.
I'd rather ask for a trade and do this later on in the afternoon.
There you go. There you go.
So
This,
we're just gonna jump. We're gonna jump into it real quick. So I'll say this, then I'll throw it to Bryce, and I'll throw it to Kevin. I am shocked that this early NBA season, the biggest news story has been Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. I am totally shocked. I didn't see this coming. Bryce, how shocked are you that so far this has been the biggest story of the NBA season so far?
I guess I haven't really thought about it like that. I don't know if it'd been the biggest story of the
It's been the
season.
biggest story so far.
I mean, Lakers and JJ Redick always seem to be at the top of a lot of other
2
news
minutes.
stories. But
2 minutes.
anyways, it is a big story nonetheless. And it's funny because I come, we talk a lot off the air and stuff, and it's funny to see Cameron in this situation of having
You gonna
to
use my government name on the
deal.
podcast?
Don't
Wow.
with
Wow.
that's how big this Jimmy Butler situation is. I gotta use your government name. I know how close this is to your heart. So, actually, what I've been thinking about is since he's considered, at least by you, Cam, this very important Heat
Then you
player.
go to Cam. So you go. That's worse.
It's just interesting because Jimmy Butler is putting the Heat through something that really only LeBron James has done. I mean, Dwayne Wade was kind of a little bit older. What I'm saying is, the Miami Heat don't find themselves in this position all that often where they find someone trying to leave the team compared to getting to the team. You guys are tied to every major free agent, like every year. And so this isn't what I've been used to seeing from the Heat in, say, like the last 10, 15 years. It's interesting to see the other side of it a little bit more and see how the Heat fans deal with it, honestly, because you guys have been so consistent. And, you've had, like, even though you guys have had success since Jimmy's been there, you guys didn't win a championship. You got close. But now Jimmy's putting the Heat in the same situation he's put all these other teams in.
Right.
So that's the interesting part. Is like the Heat weren't able to change Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's just who he is, and now the Heat find themselves on the opposite end of Jimmy trying to get out of the team, and that's the interesting part to me. I mean, because we know how Pat Riley deals with things, or at least we know he has a history of dealing with things a specific way. I'll say that. I think even Shaq commented. He goes, "I tell you," he goes, "I know how dealing with Pat Riley goes." It's not going to end well for Butler. So I don't know where Jimmy ends up. I don't think he stays on the team, despite what Pat Riley has. I think he's too big of a distraction. And I didn't know when. I had a feeling this would happen. I just didn't know when and where and why exactly. I thought maybe it'd be more the end of the season, more than, however many weeks before the trade deadline. The season's not even. I know we just passed Christmas, but it feels like the season still just kind of started. And so I was kind of surprised, that it's not like the Heat are in the bottom of the division. No. I don't completely understand it all, if I'm being honest. But it's in the character of what we've gotten used to with Jimmy Butler for him to do this, if that makes sense. So that part's not surprising. I guess the timing for me is a little surprising, and I'm interested to see how it all goes out or finishes out because of how the Heat and Pat Riley deal with situations. So it's interesting, and seeing the fans' reaction has been very interesting.
Yeah, really quick, Kevin. I just want to say this. We're not used to this. Generally, it happens in the off season. Now with Shaq, I will say that was a little different because he had missed so much time, and Pat was like, and this was a direct quote from Pat Riley. He's like, "If you're gonna miss half the games of the season, give me half my money back." And then eventually we shipped Lord, I can't talk. Ship Shaq to Phoenix for Sean Marion, which was a disaster. But anyways,
that was a lot of S's. Ship Shack, Sean Marion.
You stumbled too.
So Kevin, I know you predicted this might happen in our season preview. I don't remember exactly what you said.
I said it. I said before the trade deadline, my exact words were, he didn't get paid. He's only going to play a few games. He's going to get bitchy, and then he's going to request a trade before the trade deadline. And lo and behold, the shit happens right after Christmas. I hate to tell people I tell you so, but I tell you so. And it wasn't even on a Simpsons episode, so I didn't see it coming that way. I just knew it was going to. I had one of them feelings as soon as he didn't get paid this offseason, and other people were getting paid, that he was going to get butt hurt like he did at all the other places and want to go.
I was I know Bryce and Kevin, I think I sent you a picture. I was in Miami kind of for my birthday. That weekend we beat the Cleveland Cavaliers and the team looked great and Jimmy looked happy. And I was like, okay, I think we're going to be okay this season because that was a big win for us so far.
Hold on to that memory. The last happy memory you have with Jimmy Butler on the team.
Let me finish. Then we had the Houston situation, which Bryce, you ain't even get a chance to talk about. But we had the Houston situation with the Tyler Hero scuffle. And I was like, okay, this is probably what this team needs to fire everyone up and, go on a good run. And then, damn, 2 days later, we have the trade shit, right? I was naive in the fact that I thought we could be the one franchise that could fix Jimmy Butler. I was naive in that. So, Kevin, you were 1,000% correct in that. Bryce, I know you've said you were interested in how I would deal with this because I love Jimmy Butler so much, and then also I'm a Heat lifer. So that right there is where I stand.
Oh, I know. I know that part. I was just,
unequivocally, that's where I stand. So whatever they decide to do, I saw a picture of Jimmy Butler in the Detroit Pistons jersey the other day. It was like, fuck with Pat Riley if you want, okay? If he wants to leave, we need to trade him. They did the right thing by suspending him because we don't need that distraction, which the team is still a distraction because they got rolled last night by the fucking Utah Jazz, okay? So the team is hurting right now. Kevin, my question for you is, what side, as a Heat fan, what side do you take?
I take the side of, I knew it was coming. You've got to do one thing is all these people saying, well, they need to do right by Jimmy and send him where he wants to go and blah 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 and all that quasi bullshit. No. You have to do what's right for your team. You don't do what's right for the player. Some teams do what's right for their player because they're not used to winning and they used to shit. That's the teams that do right by the player. Teams that are built for, hey, we're going to make runs. We still want to win. We're going to do that. They do right what's best for the team. So first thing off, they need to make a trade that's going to be right for the team. I don't give a shit about the player right now. As much as I like Jimmy Butler, as much as I like what he did for the team, I saw it coming from a freaking miles away. When you don't get paid, they become bitchy prima donna bullshits. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm like, dude, you're making $58 million and you're not happy. Give me $5. Give me $5 and a McRib and I'll be happy. Like, shit. I'm like, this dude's making all this money. He lives in freaking Miami. Now apparently he had his family down there and he was happy off the court, but I'm not happy on the court. Well, maybe if you were on the court more, you'd be happy. Instead of missing games for sneezing too hard or doing something like that. Like, it's just, it got to the point where it got annoying. And I'm like, dude, okay, it's time for you to go. If y'all remember, I was against paying him this offseason because, again, availability is the most important key to anything. So if you're not available to play, why am I going to pay you to play? Just like Pat told Shaq, if you only going to play half the games, do I get half my money back? Because that's what Jimmy Butler here lately has been doing. He's just been taking games off because he got injured or hurt or anything like that. And it's not exactly like he's a spring chicken anymore.
Sure.
Like it was there comes a certain time where you have to cut everything off. And when they didn't pay him this off season, that was a sign that either the Heat were going to cut it off, see what was going to happen this year, but Jimmy already hit the cutoff mark when he didn't get paid. So I knew it was coming. Now they just got to probe the league, see what's going to be best for the team. The bad part is you got to find people that are going to come in, and the chemistry isn't going to get messed up that much because right now you can see that all of this saga is taking its toll on the team itself because a ton of the players love Jimmy, and then you've got some of the guys that are speaking out on it, and then you got some guys that are just in processing, and right now it's affecting the team. They need to get it done as soon as they can. That way they can inject whoever they're getting into the team and try to get at least going here a little bit. You're not too far out of it. I think you're still 6th or 7th seed in the East. Just inject whatever you can in, get through the season, and then when you get to the off season, see what you can go and roll and do from there.
Bryce, let me throw this to you. And I'm looking up the standings real quick, Kevin. Yeah, we're still 6 despite the last 2 losses. No matter what happens in the offseason, let's say Jimmy opts out, which he probably won't. But let's say if he did, no team would be able to pay him realistically as much as the Heat could. Realistically. We're not saying we're going to give him that, but no other team can give him as much as we can give him. With that said, it kind of limits his options a little bit because the way I look at it is you forced your way out of Chicago, you forced your way out of Minnesota, you forced your way out of Philly. At some point, these teams are going to look at him and be like, we're not going to pay you what the fuck you want. And I'm not talking about Miami. I'm talking about everybody else. At some point, everyone's going to see he's been a problem everywhere. So if you're a team executive, would you give him the max contract or the max extension that he's looking for?
No.
At this point?
If he had a better track record of staying on the court, like Kevin said, he would be getting a contract from Miami to begin with. It wouldn't even be an issue, I don't think, as much. But I wouldn't take the risk. Not when you're bringing in a known big personality.
Yeah.
He could bring the players together in the locker room. He could divide them. If he was on the court more, I'd be more willing to gamble. I'm not willing to gamble with injuries when you look around the league and half the stars in the league are hurt anyways. I wouldn't want to add to my IR list personally. Not for a premium. Not for a premium.
Well, y'all's is already long. You don't need to add no more to it.
Exactly. I don't need to go out and get Butler. So, I don't know who takes a gamble on him, but someone's gonna. They always do.
They always do, but do you think Jimmy showed his hand too early? Because I just don't believe he's going to get the kind of money that he's looking for from anyone.
Well, so he's not, because he's not 27-year-old Jimmy Butler anymore. He's 37-year-old Jimmy Butler now. And he's not going – he's got to realize with age doesn't come paydays. With age, it comes kicking you out of the league. Like with age, it becomes it's time to go bye-bye. You're not worth what you're not worth what you were 10 years ago. It's not that. And you've already shown that 10 years ago you were still the crybaby wanting out of places that you are now. Now you just gotten worse because you've gotten older. Like,
so realistically, where do you guys see, like, who do you think does just currently, not talking about a new contract or anything, who do you think takes a flyer on Butler for this season, and what kind of package do you think realistically you guys can get back? Do you think you're getting picks back from a team like a lower end team, or you think you're getting back another like mid grade couple players back kind of thing? Like, do you think you're looking for draft picks, or do you think you're looking for a bigger name kind of thing? And what teams do you think actually might go out there and try to make this happen? Because there's not a lot.
If it's me, I'm thinking future. For once in all of this stuff that's happened since LB, for once, look towards the future. We haven't looked towards the future because we're always giving away first round picks like Oprah gives away shit during Christmas. That's what we did for years, was just first round pick after first round pick just flew out the door. Bring some of them back. If you can get a player or two that's going to help and slide in and you'll be able to help, cool. But think to the future now. We know Pat Riley does the complete opposite of that. But kind of look towards the future. Even if you want to use those picks and try to go after somebody big, at least think to the future. Bring in some type of draft compensation, but get you a couple of players that can be that buffer. The bad part about it is Jimmy at this point in his career is not worth a big, gigantic, huge compensation package unless a team is thinking that they're him away from winning a championship.
This is what I think, and I have no problem being wrong, but this is what I think. I don't think Jimmy's going to be traded deadline. I don't. I think they're going to ride this thing out. He's going to be suspended for the rest of the season, which will cost him over $300K each game. And then I think in an off season, it's going to be a sign and trade. With that said, I agree with Kevin as far as, yeah, we do need some draft picks, but we do have a kind of youth movement going on right now. Spoelstra is playing the young guys, which I do like. And Nico's growing on me, boy. I don't think they trade him at. He is, man. He is. I don't think they trade him at deadline. I think they're going to ride this out for the rest of the season and do a sign and trade. That way, possibly he can get the money. He can max out the money that he wants, and then we can max out maybe some draft picks from another team. As far as that team, I have no fucking clue on who it could be right now. I don't know, because I think he's burnt too many bridges.
That's why he's going before the trade deadline. The Heat aren't going to sit back, let this ride out, and then at the end of the year go, we're going to help you make as much money as you can. No. We all know Pat Riley. Pat Riley is like, F you. If I could send you to the coldest, darkest corner of the earth right now, I would. But there's no basketball team there. But nah, they're not going to help him make as much money as he wants. They're going to get him out of there to try to salvage what they can of this season, and they're going to try to get the most that they can. They're not this waiting it out and then trying to help him max his money. They're not Jerry Maguire. They're not going to help me help you. Nah, they're not going to do that. This is help us get you out of here as quickly as possible. Before this suspension comes up, he'll be gone.
Okay. Two things. So it is interesting where you guys have held on to your last couple of draft picks, and that they actually have shown, they're playing well in their young couple years. They do seem to be an asset to the team now. It would be interesting for the first time, and I don't know how long since you guys used your draft picks and really developed young talent. That would be interesting under Spo. The second thing is, the Players Association filing the claim back against Pat Riley, or fighting it, I guess, did you guys expect that, or is this building up to be a bigger issue because of that? Like, if what you guys say, like, I actually do think he gets traded. But say what CL says comes true, and they don't trade him, and they just keep suspending him. Clearly, the Players Association is fighting back on this. Do you think this will become an even bigger issue because of that aspect of it, or is the Players Association just merely doing what it's supposed to do?
Let me take this, Kevin. One, I'm surprised they said anything because they haven't done shit in the last 5 years. One. Two, oh, I'm sorry. This was near and dear to my heart. I'm sorry.
That's true.
So
It's true.
I was floored when they released the statement so quick. I was floored. I was like, wow, y'all are still a thing. Y'all are still here. Okay, we haven't heard from you in a while. The only reason they've stepped in is for the monetary aspect. So even if the Heat decide to trade him at, before or after the trade, before the trade deadline, forgive me, they can't stop that. They're fighting to see if Jimmy can recoup some of this money that he's going to lose. Yep. With that said, I think this is the one time that Pat's going to be like, Kevin, I'm sorry. I really don't think they're going to trade him. And like I said, I don't mind being wrong, but I don't think they're going to trade him during the season. I think they're going to hurt his pockets. I think that's what this is going to be.
But then here's the thing: you can hurt his pockets all you want to, but then they they're going to try to help him all season to much of the money that they can. That's just it's just that I'm like, it's not going to happen. I was like, Pat's too pissed off. Pat is the last of the old heads out there anyway. Like, he is the last of his kind that's still left around. Like, I just Pat's like, fuck this shit. I'm tired of the fucking kitty dealing with this bullshit. It's time. We're either going to do this or we're going to get him the fuck out of here. He's going to get the fuck out of here. Like, and it ain't going to happen in the off season. He's going to get the fuck out of there. I know where Pat sometimes likes proving points, but I think Pat is just to the point where he's like, I'm tired of dealing with the bullshit, and I'm tired of dealing with the headaches. I was like, it's just, he's tired of the shit. And like, he goes, as long as I'm still going to be here, I'm not going to deal with this shit anymore because it gives me a fucking brain aneurysm. Which Jimmy will give you a brain aneurysm if you're not fucking careful, especially at his age. And I'm like, it's time to move the fuck on. And people blaming Pat Riley for this shit. People blaming Jimmy Butler for this shit. What did that have to do with anything? Well, Jimmy didn't get paid in the offseason. Yep, now he's being a little bitch. Instead of coming out, proving himself this season that he wants to earn the money that he can, he done bitch things. Sitting out fucking games, not playing, dropping 9 points a game while you're playing, and then wondering why they put you on the bench on the fourth quarter. Motherfuckers, because you didn't do shit when you were in the game. You're going to sit on your ass if you don't do shit. That's just how sports are. Play like shit, sit on the fucking bench. We're going to put somebody in that's playing better than you. I'm like, you can't use them right. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't use somebody right when they're not fucking there to be used. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not going to show up, then I'm going to sit your ass on the fucking bench. It's just fucking simple. It's sports. You either produce or you fucking get benched. One or the fucking other.
I think Butler is a good example of Heat, of a player that like represents Heat culture, but instead of buying into the team, it's still all about Jimmy in Jimmy's eyes. And so whether or not it's a legit injury or he's tired or whatever the case may be, if he decided he wasn't going to put forth full effort or play, it just seemed like he's never really bought in the way that it seemed like he was going to buy in that way. And so it just seems like this is where I'm getting at is, do you think this is the type of situation But Pat Riley just got the court named after him. And, like Kevin said, he's like pretty much the last old head left. Is this the type of situation that pushes Riley closer to a retirement door? Because, I mean, eventually those talks are going to happen anyways. I mean, I'm just saying, is this the type of situation that maybe puts Riley in the mindset of like, well, maybe, I don't know how much longer I want to keep dealing with like this kind of attitude from players, where it seems like it's becoming more and more common.
Well, Pat's gonna go when Pat wants to go. Pat wants to go. Pat wants to go when he wants to go, and Pat wants to go when he knows that somebody is going to be able to replace him. Whenever he has groomed somebody enough that he is comfortable with them taking his spot, that's when Pat is going to go. But as far as the Jimmy Butler shit goes, for all we know, they could have played a pickup game in the basketball where he took the bench and said he was going to beat the starters, and the starters beat his ass, and now he's crying and he wants to get out. That might be what happened this time instead of what happened in Minnesota. The reverse happened here, where Tyler Hero dropped 40 on his head during practice, and they got their asses whooped. That's all we might know. But Pat's not going to go just because we think somebody's running him out, and we think that he's already had a proven enough track record to where he gets the benefit of the doubt from me. Like, bar none, he's getting the benefit of the doubt. He's done some stupid shit to where I'm like, okay, Pat, you may need to rethink that one over. You may need to go get rejuvenated in Cabo or do some of this shit you do. But, like, for the majority of it, he got the benefit of the doubt. This was about a dude not getting paid in the offseason when he saw other players that were on his team get paid their due that they should have got paid, and him not getting paid because he's old and he's injured and he hasn't showed availability as much lately, and he got butthurt about it. This is all that it has come down to. If he would have came out and performed this year and everything and played the games that he needed to play, he would have got paid. But because he didn't get paid this offseason, and they told him basically what I just said, dude, go out there and show out this year, and we'll talk about it in the offseason. He got butthurt because he's done these things for this team in the past. Dude, other people have done it too, and they've got compensated because they've showed up. I was like, if you would have done the same shit and kept your mouth shut and just went out there and played ball, you would have got the same shit.
Yeah, I think Pat got enough clout in this league where he's Teflon. He's gonna be fine doing this. This is me being naive. I thought Jimmy was gonna have a stellar season to get the contract because we never said we wasn't gonna pay him. That's not what we said. What we said was, wait, we'll revisit it in the offseason. You show us, one, you play more games. Two, you be more engaged. You show us that you want to be the guy that we think you are. And then we'll revisit the talks in the offseason. So the Miami Heat never said unequivocally, hey, we're not paying you. That wasn't the conversation. So I am floored. I'm hurt because I love Jimmy Butler. I know Jimmy Butler's the third greatest player that's ever been in this franchise. I know that for a fact. In 6 years, 2 finals appearances, and one made 3 from a third finals appearance. Jimmy is that guy. So I'm floored. I'm hurt. But at the end of the day, whatever Pat does, I'm with it. I'm absolutely with it. So I'm happy he suspended him. We need him away from the team. I just need the team to kind of wake up because this was a rough week. Because, as Kevin said, we're 6th in the East. We're not even in the play-in right now. We can still do something.
We just have to get rid of him. He has to go before things get too fucking out of hand. The longer he is still there and the longer they keep suspending him and all that shit is the longer he's going to be a distraction. You have to do something before it gets too deep and everybody starts getting on edge. You have to. It's not a if or when, it's how soon can we get it done. And like I said, you don't want to do something that's going to be detrimental to your team, but you need to do something quickly that's going to help your team now and going into the future. They can't dilly dally on this shit. Yes, I said dilly dally. They can't dilly dally on this shit. They have to go and make the moves as quickly as possible.
I'm going to ask you this question, Kevin. Me and Bryce have already talked about this. Bryce and my lady has been trolling me about this all season. About the play of Tyler Hero. How impressed are you with Tyler's performance?
How is impressed that the guy that said that Tyler was a good basketball player and other people have told him that he wasn't? Dude, if you can't see that Tyler Hero was going to be a good basketball player, you were either blind or you just hated Tyler Hero just because.
I hated him, and it fucking took him long enough to fucking step up.
But Tyler's been a good basketball player since he entered the league. It didn't translate to wins, though.
He hasn't been consistent
by himself. Yeah,
he misses every fucking playoff because he's fucking hurt. But this year, he's shown me something.
No, the bad part was you got a taste of Tyler Hero in the bubble. What he did in the bubble. Look, there was people in the bubble that. No, look. Yes, but when people got that taste, look, there were people in the bubble that were fucking great that have sucked fucking afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're like, okay, this is what he's going to be like. Well, that's what he was always going to be like because that's the type of basketball player he is. And I tried to tell you over and 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 over again that he was the best white boy that we had on the team, but yet you kept sucking at the teat of Duncan Robinson.
It still will.
And who now doesn't even help when you need him to fucking help. Like he'll show up. He'll show. Yeah. How's he doing this year? Exactly.
I've been trolling him about Duncan Robinson for about 4 years.
I've been trolling him about Duncan Robinson from the day he said that Duncan Robinson was better than Tyler Hero.
Okay? Fuck both of y'all.
He's not better than Tyler Hero. He never was, and he never will be. Sorry.
To be fair, I don't think Cam ever said he was better than Hero.
No, you don't need to give Tyler his flowers. First, you need to apologize. No, you need to apologize. You need to apologize,
okay.
And you need to send a whole goddamn garden over to his house for how bad you have talked about Tyler Hero.
I'll say this, and then we'll go to the next topic and wrap it up. For a brief second, and I haven't did all-star voting in 10 years because it's bullshit. But for a brief second, I thought about casting one vote this year for Tyler Hero. And then when they did the voting breakdown a few days ago, I saw how low he was on the totem pole, and I was like, but my vote won't even fucking matter. So he's not getting my fucking vote this year.
No, because it's a stupid popularity contest. The whole fucking thing is a popularity contest. My favorite thing about Tyler Hero is that he adapted.
They're not even playing.
What's up,
he adapted.
I said it's been weird seeing Magic players on the list when they're not even playing.
I know.
If Bronze is on the list above Hero, something's wrong.
Magic players are fucking voting like for fucking people that don't even play no more. Like that fucking Pablo Beccaro hasn't played in 937 days, and they're still voting for his ass. They're like, go.
Come on now. He's had one major injury his whole career, and he's out for 900 and some days.
Don't be dramatic. It's been 2 months. It's only been 3 years.
He hasn't been hurt ever.
Usually every 3 years somebody gets a big ass fucking injury. That's usually just how it goes.
I'll take 2 months though instead of the season for sure.
Oh yeah, God yeah.
I want to give the Magic some love. Generally speaking, the Heat and the Magic aren't good ever at the same time. So with the Magic playing so good this year, I'm like, okay, Miami's going to take a step back. And then we had that debacle in Orlando about 3 weeks ago. Kevin, I want to ask you, How did you feel about the Miami Heat blowing a 25 fucking point lead to the Orlando Magic, who were without Paolo and without Franz? And Jalen Suggs didn't even play that fucking game.
That was fucking stupid. But we made up for it by watching the Magic blow a 17-point lead and us coming back and winning that game. So what went around came back around. But I'm like, really? We even made fucking Cortez leave early. Like,
Yeah, he did context him.
you never make that motherfucker leave a Magic game early. We made him leave early and we still couldn't fucking win. I'm like,
And the Knicks,
now you had all the
fans
Magic
made him leave
Twitter
early,
telling
too.
Cortez he needs to leave every game early.
Look, Cortez left and Cole Anthony went on the fucking heater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the bane of ex Twitter went off that game, and of Magic Twitter, the bane of their existence went off that game, and everybody had to say good things about Cole Anthony. But that was the funniest part of it, because them motherfuckers hate saying good things about Cole Anthony.
yeah, they do. Yeah.
We like it when he's playing decent. This has been the worst season Cole's had, maybe since his rookie.
Well, yeah, because you've got people in front of. They're playing people in front of him now, and he's not getting the run that he was getting. But that, like, he is the equivalent of how Tyler Hero is to Cam Maroon.
When he's winning you games, you want him, and when he's making turnovers, you want to put him on the bench. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like Cole Anthony though. I think he's a good player.
You guys have answered this, but I'm gonna wrap it up with this again. Unequivocal answer. Bryce, do you think Jimmy gets traded at the trade deadline or at the end of the season?
I'm on board with Kevin in this situation. If this was any other team, any other player, we've always said you can't have that kind of distraction on the team. It's too detrimental. Even if you didn't get anything back, I think it'd be better to send him away from the team. Like it's that bad, in my opinion, to keep something like that around in the locker room. So even if it's not the greatest deal, I think he's gone before the trade deadline. Yeah.
Kevin, I know you agree with Bryce. Where do you think Jimmy will end up?
Oh God, it's so bad because like really a lot of the places that are going that they're saying is like there's no way you look at that and you're going to get the compensation that you think you're going to get from it because these teams don't have those assets that you're going to. I know the big one that has came out is Memphis. As all of a sudden came out of nowhere, them putting 3 of their tradable pieces on the injury report all of a sudden and things like that, and then them shooting up in the Vegas odds. I know Memphis has been said a lot. I know Phoenix has been said a lot. I know if it was me, what I would do is I would find a place that has another guy that just wants to get the hell out, like Sacramento. Find another third team, go and get some picks if you can. Try to see if you can coax them into giving up Fox, and then just going through because we know that I've heard rumors Sacramento wants to give him up. So it's just you just have find something that's going to help the team in the long run. Just find the best deal. I don't care if you get back a freaking superstar or not. Just find the best deal that's going to help you stay relevant and stay better going into the offseason.
Bryce, did you know we have foxes in Central Florida?
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see if we get another one.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning. That's where I'm leaning. So
Fox
on
That's
Central
probably
Florida.
best case scenario. I just don't know if it happens because everybody's going to be calling. A lot of teams are going to be calling about Fox. Let's be real.
I mean,
A lot of teams aren't going to be offering enough though for any All-Star for it.
Mm-hmm. With an
Even though he's
attitude,
900
he wants to get paid lots of money.
even though he's 936 years old, but he's still a perennial all-star.
Look, I'll say this, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Alonzo Mourning left and begged us to take him back. Dwayne Wade left and begged us to take him back. I never expected Bitch Boy in LA to come back, so I'm not even gonna mention his name. Even if we get rid of Jimmy Butler, I think Jimmy's gonna come back. I will say that because he's more of a Heat player than Bitch Boy in Los Angeles. Okay, I will always.
And Riley are both too petty to do that.
Hey, Wade came back home. I will always absolutely love and adore Jimmy Butler despite what's going on right now. Just like with Russell Westbrook, who's having a great season, by the way. I will never say anything bad about Jimmy Butler. On that note, we're going to wrap it up for this episode of the Hardwood Nation podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share our content. Kevin, let the people know where they can find you at.
I'm at Kevin C 2415. Always, you can follow my OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding.
Or the feet pics.
No. You don't want to see my feet. They're freaking terrible.
Oh my god. Yeah, that just completely threw me off.
That's what I did it for. Since you can't watch Pornhub anymore in Florida, so they might as well.
I wouldn't have known that. But let me piggyback off Kevin for a little bit. We are launching a new podcast soon with myself and Big Pat and special guests, and we're going to call that Hardwood Uncut. So that is on the way.
You're going to buy Pat a case of Red Bull before each podcast.
He knows.
That's what I called my OnlyFans page.
So with that said, please like, subscribe, and share our content. Everyone drop comments below, and we are out.
Except I'm cut, not uncut. So.